Hi, I'm JD. Welcome to my channel. I just finished The 4-Hour Workweek. It is a great book for anybody who is looking to be more productive, live a more fulfilling life, and quite possibly only work 4 hours a week. So my 3 key takeaways from the book are productivity, which he works off of the Pareto principle, which is the 80-20 rule. And number 2 would be outsourcing. So you outsource the things that you aren't efficient or good at in order to be more productive. And 3 is mini retirements. So this is a great concept that he come up with, and that is don't wait until you're old and decrepit and can't even enjoy the things that you once enjoyed because your body is incapable of doing that. That concept is just really crazy. So, I mean, a lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna save every dollar and not enjoy life now so that I can enjoy life later. Later might not even come. You know, we're not guaranteed tomorrow or even the next 10 minutes. So I really like that idea. So let's jump into my first key takeaway from the book, which is productivity and the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is Pareto's principle of uneven distribution. And it basically states that 80% of results are from 20% of our work or effort or whatever you want to look at it. So according to the Pareto principle, if you were to work 40 hours a week, that means only 8 of those hours are really productive, because those 8 hours, that 20% of your 40-hour work week, produced 80% of your results. And what's crazy is that if you look at this principle throughout everything, holds true. So 20% of the population holds 80% of the wealth in the world, which is true. It's probably less than that, actually. And 20% of your clothes in your closet, you wear 80% of the time. For women, 20% of your products probably in your medicine cabinet, you use 80% of the time. And the remaining 80%, you use 20% of the time or never. So it's just crazy how that principle goes with everything. He outlines how to take advantage of that principle. And it's basically, you just write down everything you're doing throughout the day. Really, you can just every half an hour or something, just jot down what you're doing. And then at the end of the week, you can look back and see what actually produced results. And everything else you can probably just get rid of, or you can outsource those other things to other people. And that brings me to the second takeaway, which is outsourcing. Back when this book was written, back in 2007, outsourcing was very novel, but now outsourcing is becoming very common, and there's all kinds of websites to use outsourcing. You know, you have Fiverr, Upwork. Anyways, there's all kinds of different outsourcing websites to find very capable people to do things that maybe you're not that efficient at, and it just makes sense to do that. You can find people to do anything. You can find people to edit your YouTube videos. You can find people to help you write papers. You can find people to edit your papers. You can find people to do virtually anything. And that's what's so cool about today's technology. So it's just great concepts. So the last key concept I took away from this book was mini retirements. Not waiting until a day that could possibly never come to enjoy life is huge. I think that he's really onto something by doing that. A thought that came in my mind when I was reading this book was Up. You remember that Disney movie Up, or Pixar? One of the two, virtually one and the same. That poor bastard lived his whole life, and it was just like the typical thing, you know, saving up to go on that wondrous vacation, and the car breaks down and you gotta use your savings to fix that, and medical emergency happens and you gotta use your savings to fix that. And then it's like one thing after another, and that's basically how life goes. But it's crazy. It's just like, if they would have just used those savings that they had at that one time to go on that vacation, what would they have done to fix the car when it broke down? They would have hustled and they would have made it happen. They would have went out and got another job. They would have bought another neighbor's car that wasn't broken for cheap because their neighbor found out that they were in dire circumstances and they just happened to be wanting to get rid of their car, and so they sold them a car on the cheap that they wouldn't have sold that cheap otherwise. I mean, you never know what would have happened, but regardless, they would have made it work if they would have just taken their vacation, because they would have had to make it work. You need a car, and sometimes we have to do the things necessary in order to go on in life. So I mean, if you don't have the money to fix your car, you're going to figure it out because you have to fix that car. But if you have that money sitting something away, then you're going to use it, and then you're going to say, oh, well, I'll just save up again to go on vacation. So basically, be more productive by outsourcing and taking advantage of your traits that you're good at and efficient at, and you can find those by jotting down what you're doing throughout the day. And with that saved time, energy, you can produce more results and go on mini vacations to enjoy life now rather than hoping to enjoy life later, you know? And then wife dies and then you don't even get to go on your adventure. You're just hoping for some little boy to come knocking on your door and give you that grand adventure that you've been longing for your whole life, right? So yeah, the book was great. I do highly recommend reading it. It is a bestseller for a reason. This book is really, really good. He has all kinds of resources and websites and tools and tricks in the book. Some of them are kind of outdated now, but there's still a lot of useful ones. You have to get the book to get that. I'm not going to give away his tips and tricks because that wouldn't be cool. I'll put a link down below for the book. If you do use that link, I'll make like 50 cents. So anyway, thank you for your time, and go read the book.